Hi, this is Jeffrey Kerr at Kerr Financial Group, and today is Wednesday, June 12, 2024. The CPI number this morning came in. The market liked it. Stocks are up. Bond yields down. Bond prices up. So a strong day across the board for the U.S. financial markets. Commodities off a little bit. But the CPI number came in at 3.3% inflation year over year versus expectations of 3.4%. So a little bit better. The core measurement was a little bit better too, I guess. And now, so the expectations and anticipation of interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve get increased. We'll see. I saw a comment about even one in July. I don't think there'll be one in July, but a lot smarter people out there than I. And but now there's expectations that we could see two interest rate cuts in second half of 2024. So we'll see about that. I think a couple of things to point out regarding last week, the European Central Bank (ECB) did cut rates a quarter percent, and so some of the global central banks are kind of loosening things, and the ECB cut rates last week. This is the 38th straight month where inflation has remained above 3%. I think it's a pretty big negative, but the market's looking for direction and some improvement, and kind of got that again with this report. A couple other negatives, I think that we'll see how the Fed even mentions this, and the Fed does have their announcement today at 2 o'clock. They're not gonna move on interest rates at this meeting, but they will have the some comments about what's going on in the future. Gotta believe the Fed knew what this number was going to the yesterday and today's meetings, so they may have some response that includes this today's new number. But some of the other things I think the Fed has to consider is, we've got now $2 trillion per year of federal deficits. Our total debt is approaching 35 trillion as a country. GDP was slowing a little bit, still positive, but in the first quarter, the first read was like 1.5% growth, which isn't very strong at all. And lastly, I saw this that the full-time jobs have been declining year over year for 3 months in a row. So full-time jobs have been contracting. I think that's kind of interesting. That may promote the idea that we do need a cut sooner rather than later. So at 2 o'clock, the Fed a statement comes out about 2:20, 2:30. Powell does the press conference. Can't imagine he reveals too much. He may soothe things again about interest rate cuts later in the year. So we'll see. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk on Friday. Goodbye.